everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Angel and today I'll be sharing some more budget-friendly DIYs. This first project is so incredibly easy, but really pretty too, and you could totally do this in a grouping and you'll just need any glass jar, vase, or candle holder. You're just going to want to grab some of these Halloween rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree, and then all you have to do is rub them onto your vase or candle holder or whatever you want to use to get a really nice high-end look. Now, I ended up adding a few of the rub-on transfers to mine, and then I added in a little wood piece from Dollar Tree as a riser, and here's how it turned out. For this next project, you're going to need some foam balls. You'll need some fabric doilies from Dollar Tree, as well as one of their black lace table runners. Now, I'm going to be using a large crochet needle for this project, but if you don't have this on hand, you can always just hot glue this string. But I'm just tying my string to my needle, and then I'm going to push it up through that foam ball. Then I will take that same needle with the same string on it and pull that foam ball up into the doily. And once I have it pulled up, I'm just going to flip that over, cut that string, and I will tie a few knots at the bottom of this foam ball so that the string doesn't come out. But like I said, if you don't have a needle that's big enough to go through the foam ball, don't worry about it. Just hot glue the string to the top of the foam ball and then push it up through the doily. Once I had it secure, I went ahead and tied another piece of string right under the foam ball to make a little lace ghost, and I ended up making 2 of these. Now, with the black lace table runner from Dollar Tree, I wanted to make a little witch, but I didn't have any more foam balls, so I ended up just wrapping one of Dollar Tree's ping pong balls in some twine, and that's what I'm going to use for her head. So the first thing I did was just go ahead and cut off a piece of that lace to the length that I wanted. And then since I couldn't use my needle, I am just going to go ahead and hot glue this one. So I just took a piece of that string and hot glued it right to the bottom. And then I just pushed that string down through the center of the lace, and I'm going to tie a few knots and also add a little bit of hot glue so that the string does not come out. For my witch's hat, I'm just using one of these Dollar Tree witch's hat picks, and I just pulled the pick off, and then I decided to cover it in some of Dollar Tree's black fabric. Then I just used my needle to help push up a piece of string up through the hat, and these do have holes in the top of them, so it's pretty easy to get the string up through there. And then before I pull that string all the way up, I'll go ahead and tie some knots at the bottom so that the string doesn't come out. Then all I had to do was just hot glue the hat to the top of my witch. And here's how they turned out. For this next project, I'll be using one of these wood planks from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and give this 2 coats of my black chalk paint. Then I'm going to go ahead and use some of these stickers to spell out spooky on here. Now, I'm not leaving the stickers. I'm actually going to paint over these just because I feel like it's a more high-end look to have the letters painted on rather than using a sticker. So I did use some Mod Podge to try to seal all those edges so no paint could get under here when I paint over this. And once the Mod Podge was dry, I just went ahead and went in with 2 coats of my white chalk paint over the top of this. Then I just went ahead and removed all of those stickers from the board. And you'll be able to see that some of my white paint did get under my stickers, but that's okay. I'm just going to go right back in with some of my black paint and fix all of the mistakes. And finally, for this project, I just used one of my white paint markers to draw some spider webs in some of the letters to add a little more detail. For this next project, I really wanted to make some of those Pinterest-inspired crystal balls, so I grabbed 3 of Dollar Tree's candle holders, and I went ahead and used my black chalk paint to paint those, and then for the bottom of one of them, I'm going to be using one of these Dollar Tree bowls, so I went ahead and painted that black as well. So the first thing I did was just use some E6000 to go ahead and glue 2 of my candlesticks together. And then for the smaller, shorter one, I glued it to that glass bowl. Now, I've seen a few people make these, and you always have to order transparent paper and print things off. But for this one, I'm going to be using 2 of Dollar Tree's little clear ornaments, some of their rub-on transfers, and then this clear contact paper from Dollar Tree. So all I'm going to do is go ahead and fold a piece of that transparent contact paper over in half, and then I just drew out a little ornament template to use for this. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that down on both of those sheets that I folded over. Then I'm just going to choose some of those rub-on transfers that I want to use for this project, and all you have to do is rub these on to one of those pieces of contact paper. Then you're going to peel the backing off of both of those pieces and just stick these together. And once you stick the 2 pieces together, it becomes way more sturdy, and you can just roll this up and stick it right into those ornaments. These turned out so cute without using transparent paper or having to print anything off. And I think the kind of haziness of the clear contact paper from Dollar Tree just makes them look even better. For this next project, you're going to need some of these larger foam balls and the smaller foam balls from Dollar Tree. You'll also need some bamboo skewers and one of their foam blocks. And I'm going to be using some of this creepy cloth also from Dollar Tree. Now, I just took those bamboo skewers and I cut them down. I kind of made a body and 2 arms. And then I'm going to put one of the big foam balls on the top for the head and 2 of the little foam balls for the hands. And I just went ahead and made 2 of those. Then I went ahead and just used some plain white glue mixed with a little bit of water in a container, and I just mixed enough to make 2 little ghosts. Then I just kind of eyeballed my creepy cloth over top of the little frames that I made, and I kind of figured out where I wanted to cut it. Don't worry if you make it too long, you can cut it later, but then I'm just going to dip that down in the glue and water mixture. Make sure you wring this out really good, and then you're going to place it over your little ghost frame. Now, this does dry in a few hours, but I let mine set overnight, and then once it was dry, all I had to do was very carefully remove this creepy cloth from those balls that we used, and then you can just trim this down so that they can stand up on their own, and you have these cute little creepy ghosts. For this final project, I wanted to make a large witch's broom, so I just found this stick in my yard and I did cut it down just a little bit. And then for the bottom, I'm going to be using some of this Dollar Tree raffia. Now, I bought 4. I only ended up using 3 of these, but as you can see here, I just used a ruler and I cut these down to about 12 inches and I just kept cutting them, but they were a little wild when you unwrap these, so I did use some zip ties to try to calm this down. You can see here I left this sitting for a few hours in this zip tie so that the raffia would calm down a little bit because it was all over the place. But after a few hours, I did go ahead and cut some of those zip ties off just so I could slide my stick down in the center of this raffia. And then I am going to zip tie this onto there just so that I can tie some of this rope around. And then I will just wrap this around and hot glue it to the back. But as I'm wrapping it, I am going to cut off those zip ties. Just remember, if you do cut off the zip ties like I did, you want to make sure that this is wrapped really tight. And then finally, I felt like this raffia was just too new looking, so I just took some antiquing wax and I'm just dry brushing it over all of the raffia and the rope part to make this look like an aged witch's broom. Then I also screwed in a little hook and just hung a Dollar Tree sign from this, and here's how it turned out. That's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.